Well, hi there. I'm here with Harris Shabbir, who's the head of MENA at Equals Money, based in London. We're sitting in the office of Equals today, while Harris is between visits to conferences or between flying around between Canada and Dubai. I think Harris spends a lot of his time between London and Dubai, but visits lots of conferences around the world. Just got back from Toronto, I think last week, was it, Harris?
Just last week.
Yeah, great to see you again in person. And I was wondering if you could just give a little introduction about yourself and what Equals Money actually does and how it might help CFD brokers or crypto firms, which is an area I think that you're pretty focused on at the moment.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, happy to give an introduction on myself. I'm Harris Shabbir, part of Equals Money Group. I'm currently the head of Middle East and North Africa in the company. I've been with the company now for just under 6 years. I'm a graduate of economics and banking, and I've been in financial services since I graduated. The role itself is predominantly Middle East based. I helped to build out our Middle East business in terms of the clients that we have down there. Before I started, we didn't have much of exposure in the area. And now I think Equals is very well known in the Middle East and other countries as well. Since then, the role has spread a lot more than just the Middle East. So I'm currently dealing with the majority of our CFD clients, crypto clients, MSPs, EMIs, these sort of industries really. But yeah, again, as you said, it entails traveling to many different parts of the world. Last week we were in Canada, in Toronto for Consensus. We have a few other shows coming up around the world as well, Europe, Asia, Middle East, etc. But yeah, it's been a really good journey so far.
Okay, thanks. And Equals as a business is looking after all sorts of types of companies, small, medium enterprises up to very large institutions. I'd suppose that the main type of firm is like a company with FX exposure, like import-export companies. But you're focusing mainly on the CFD and crypto sector, let's say. But do you ever get involved in the kind of standard companies?
Yeah, I mean, look, Equals caters to a wide variety of different businesses. It's not just financial institutions, which I will deal with myself, but we also deal with general corporate companies who are, sending funds abroad for goods, import, export, etc. We also deal with retail clients who are sending money back home, remittance purposes, or buying properties, etc. around the world. But from my point of view, the base that I deal with is more financial institutions. So yeah, it's widespread.
Now, you've just come back from Consensus in Toronto. I think Consensus has a few events around the world. What was the Toronto event like?
That was an interesting one. It was the first time I was in Toronto. So it was nice to be in that part of the world. The Consensus event was the first that I attended personally. And I think it's the first that Equals actually exhibited at in terms of Consensus events. It was very good. We met with a whole bunch of different people that we don't generally see in UK, Europe, etc. And we met a lot of businesses that were based in the US, in Canada, in Australia. So it's just very good to get a bit of a foot in the door here.
Okay, and you were at Token 2049?
The token event is always good. We've attended it now a few times, both in Dubai and in Singapore. The differences that we see are generally in Dubai is more retail based. There's a lot of people who are very new to crypto, who are just getting their foot in the door, understanding the basics of it, seeing how they can get on with crypto exchanges, etc. The one in Singapore is more crypto exchanges, more institutional based. You would see a lot more clients there who already have a foot in the door itself, have a good exposure in the market, and are just looking for other solutions in terms of payments and other things that they need.
Okay, and you're going to the IFX Expo in Cyprus in
June.
Mid-June, I think it is. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be a really good event. We've exhibited at IFX a few times now, not just in Cyprus, but also in Dubai. That's a very good event. It's more CFD based, so it's a very good event to attend. And a lot of the clients, as you know, are based in Cyprus who are CFDs as well. So it's very good for us to meet new clients, existing clients, get our exposure there further as well. But no, IFX is one of my favorite expos.
Okay. On the events page at LiquidityFinder's website, we've got a lot of events listed. The crypto events are becoming more and more, I suppose, global. Lots of events in Dubai, the US, Toronto, as you just mentioned, the UK, obviously. Is there one or two that you could recommend that everybody should go to? least once?
A good question. I would say IFX is always good to attend. It's very, very focused on CFD clients or CFD businesses in general. And that's a good one to attend. The token event is always good to attend just because of the variety of people that you meet there. It's not just crypto companies. It's also funds, hedge funds, asset managers, CFD brokers, payment companies. It's just a really good time there.
Okay. So obviously you're making a lot of connections in the CFD broker world right now. And the crypto space as well is opening up to equals quite a bit. Can you talk a little bit about the challenges that, let's start with the CFD firms. Why are they coming to equals? Why are they onboarding with you? What is it that you're offering them that they're not getting elsewhere?
That's a good question. A lot of the reasons why they come to us in the first place is because they struggle to get the support that they need in terms of banking from your traditional banks. Reason being is the bank's appetite generally is not as varied or as wide as ours. So we can take them on pending our own checks. You know, we have a very good reputation in the CFD space. We've worked alongside it for a number of years now. One of the main reasons is that we basically tailor the onboarding process to each individual client. So it's not a set process for everyone. It's however they need us to work with them. We look to support them in that way. We try and basically manage the risk better with stronger processes in place. In terms of the accounts that we give, they're very tailored towards CFD companies. These will be your operational accounts, your client accounts, B2B accounts. So everything is sort of segregated. Everything is under their own CFD company's name, and they get direct access to exchanges, platforms, and other things from there.
And in terms of crypto firms, I mean, it's obviously a pretty new sector. Globally, everything's changing very, very fast in the crypto world. And I know that you're onboarding quite a few crypto firms. What is it that you're offering them? I suppose it's the same sort of thing. Banks have been very reluctant. They hear the word crypto. I think that's why companies tend to use the word digital assets now. It sounds a bit more institutional. But what is it that crypto digital asset firms are finding with equals?
Yeah, I mean, you're completely right. They need similar things to CFD companies. I think maybe 5-10 years ago, CFD companies were a lot harder to onboard than they are now. It's a lot more mainstream. We expect crypto to be going in that same direction. It's just at the early stages right now. As you know, obviously, the banks were very reluctant to work with crypto companies in the past. We've only basically been able to start onboarding them or working alongside them maybe the last 12, 18 months. Similar things that they need, but a few extra things is we give them access to sub-IBAN accounts for their underlying clients. So if they're a company that is based in, for example, Australia, we will then give them access to sub-IBANs for each individual client. So when they make a payment into that account, it's all held currently safeguarded and segregated. It makes the whole process on the banking side a lot easier as well to manage.
I think recently it's fair to say that you've just got a crypto businesses page on equals, which shows a very strong commitment to that sector. Like you've had the CFD brokers page on equals for a bit now as well. But it seems like equals is taking the crypto space a lot more, not a lot more seriously, but with a bit more focus since obviously Trump's election in January this year. The crypto space is buzzing right now, especially with the US approach to regulation perhaps being a little bit more friendly than it has been in the past. And I think that's creeping across the whole industry. And I think let's call it digital assets are being taken a lot more seriously by banks. I think banks are now catching up a little bit, but I think that crypto digital asset firms are still facing a lot of challenges that the banks aren't able to meet. And so Equals is stepping in, helping them out, right?
Yeah, 100%. It's something which is growing very quickly.
Also, there's another big event that happened with Equals recently, merged or combined forces with Railsr.
Yeah, literally 10 days.
And that's now kind of active. So what does that mean for clients? What is it that is going to change at Equals Railsr with this combination? What can people expect to have that they may not have had before?
Yeah, so the Rails deal is very new. It's only been basically public information the last 10 days or so, maybe 2 weeks. What it does, it gives us broader access to more financial instruments. Basically, it's one fintech merging with another, which gives us a lot more access to a wider variety of payment solutions. It gives us access to more enhanced banking as a service products. it gives us more enhanced BIN sponsorship, which is card issuing. We can work with Visa and MasterCard. So it's a good solution there. But the main criteria that they offer us is more embedded finance solutions, digital wallets, e-wallets, all held within a compliant and scalable environment. So it's been a very good, we think it's going to be a very good merge in that side.
Banking as a service, what does that actually mean, banking as a service in reality? So what can somebody get from having a banking as a service application with Equals?
Yeah, so banking as a service is a very key component to what we offer now in terms of our infrastructure. What it essentially means is we give all of Equals capabilities to a company to basically piggyback off our regulations. They get all access to our tier one banks. They get access to our multi-currency IBANs. They can issue debit cards to their clients as well. It's a full, like a white label solution. But for separate industries, we basically tailor make it for everyone. But everything else is held in own named accounts. We basically have agreements with the underlying party itself. But it gives the company itself full access to a wider variety of things to offer to their own clients, just to ensure that, it makes them a lot more sticky, for example.
Okay, so can a CFD broker take the banking as a service?
Yeah.
Apply to them?
Yeah, I mean, everyone has to go through our due diligence process. We may offer one thing and not offer other things depending on the risk category that we have. Generally, most companies can apply for it. Once they've been approved from our due diligence process, we start an API integration. Could take a few weeks from there on in, but yeah, it's fully available to different fintech companies.
And what about a crypto firm? Could they benefit from a banking as a service?
Yeah, it's been key for crypto companies actually. The main reason is that we give them their own named accounts. First of all, we give them the fiat currency rails, which is key because a lot of them have crypto rails or stablecoin rails, but not any fiat currency rails. So that's one key thing there. But the main thing that they offer to their own clients is the sub-IBANs for the underlying clients. Because as you know, when you're making a payment into a crypto exchange, your bank may hold up the funds. When you're making a payment to your own accounts, it sort of makes the process a lot faster and smoother in terms of banking rails from there. But yeah, it's been a key thing for our crypto exchange that we're working at the moment to offer them the banking as a service. And we expect it to just keep on growing from there.
And one thing that I am seeing a lot more of, the people who want to pay in stablecoins and transfer stablecoins or convert stablecoins into, or use stablecoins for their deposit, let's say. And how does Equals currently satisfy that requirement? Or if you can't at the moment, what are your plans to do that?
So stablecoin currency is currently not available with Equals. However, we are in the process of finalizing some plans to offer it to clients moving forward. So the way we're working around it at the moment is fiat currency solutions. We allow clients to deposit, for example, US dollars with us. They can then send it to their preferred regulated crypto exchange. Within the exchange, they can purchase their stable coins, and when they sell it back to fiat, we can receive the funds in without any issues. But yeah, in longer term, stablecoin solutions are on the roadmap.
So could you walk us through what a typical onboarding process is like for a CFD broker coming onto Equals, and what do they, and how long does it take to sign up with you and so on?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, look, it's completely varied in terms of timings, but the onboarding process itself is very structured, but it's relatively swift as well. It basically starts with us conducting a discovery call with the client just to understand the requirements, the business model, what the status is of regulation, and the needs for the payments itself, whether they will need direct client flow or if they have any crypto payments, etc. We then confirm that it's suitable for us to onboard. It goes through our pre-approval process. That at that point, it starts our EDD process, enhanced due diligence, which will include collecting of the documents, KYC, KYB, regulatory checks, etc. From there on in, we'll tailor make the actual onboarding flow for the client's needs. These will be the multi-currency accounts. Depending on the needs, it will be 1 account, 2 accounts, 3 accounts, etc. If they require cards for the clients as well, we can look to do that. On API integration, we'll look to do that as well. We basically try and tailor make every solution that we have, because there's no 2 clients that are the same, especially in CFDs. Different regulations require different rules from our side. So we try and move it alongside from that side. But yeah, it can be open within a few weeks.
Okay. So getting to the kind of heart of the matter, when somebody does onboard with Equals, they're obviously going to expect very, very competitive rates for currency conversion. How do you actually manage to do that? So what's behind the Equals setup to allow you to do that?
So we offer, we leverage deep banking relationships with tier one providers to offer smarter FX pricing across 30, 35 currencies. Our infrastructure means that conversions can happen in near enough real time, and clients can lock in forward contracts to hedge the risk or book spot payments to make immediate payments out. By aggregating the demand across the client base, we pass on institutional grade pricing, which smaller firms might not have access to otherwise.
And in terms of settlement times, how much of the conversions can be same day? Is that kind of standard?
The majority of our payments are same day, depending on where we're making the payments out to. Payments to like the Far East, maybe T+1, but generally UK, Europe, the US, Middle East, etc. will all be T+0. We'll try our best to do T+0.
And there's obviously a huge amount of interest in from companies in Dubai right now. That's becoming another market center for CFD brokers, and a lot of demand for dirham conversions. What are your dirham conversions like?
Yes, so we offer AD as part of our multi-currency accounts. The conversions are, again, very much as close to interbank as we can get. We offer AD settlements, and obviously AD is pegged to US dollars, so they can convert AD to dollar or vice versa. But yeah, AD can be settled same day as well.
Great. So once somebody's up and running, what kind of analytics, what kind of front end do they look at to manage their business?
So we give the clients a platform online, which also includes a exchange platform. So they can see the balances in real time. They can see all of the multi-currency accounts that they hold. If they hold, for example, dollars and euros, both options will come up straight away. It gives them a lot more visibility for the finance teams as well. So they can download CSV files of payments. They can download daily accounts and payments in and out. We give them full access to the accounts, the beneficiaries, the sub-IBANs, etc. All can be done via API as well to make it a lot more seamless. And we can also link our software to their own accounting platforms.
And virtual cards, virtual banking cards, like a piece of plastic that people walk around with. Is that something that CFD brokers are after? If so, why? And what do you offer them? Or if it's not relevant, then just say it. I mean, it's something I don't really come across that often, but it's one of the things I know that Equals is quite prominent about. I see on LinkedIn quite a few videos about Equals virtual cards. What can you explain a little bit?
Yeah, so we can offer both physical and virtual cards. These will be directly from Visa and MasterCard. The way that companies currently use it is they would have virtual cards for travel expenses. If they're traveling to shows, etc., they can use the virtual cards to make payments out. If they have a GBP default currency card, then when they're in, for example, in Cyprus, a payment from the card will automatically convert to euros. So yeah, they're fully functional currency cards as well. Many companies use it in CFDs. The companies that would use it will be for invoice settlements mainly. This could be for advertising, social media, office rent, etc. We currently don't offer it to the underlying clients, but it's something that we're looking into at the moment.
So, and do those cards have a spend cap on them and things like that? So you can say you can give your employees a card with a fixed limit of 2,000 euros to spend on. Is that kind of governed by the?
Yeah. So the actual card itself gives you a lot more sort of power and access to how you want to use the cards. So you can issue a card with a daily limit. You can issue a card with a limit to a payment for a specific merchant. We can currently link it to different categories, so you can block certain categories in terms of that. You basically get real-time notifications for every single transaction. So as soon as a payment is made, you can get an email to confirm it's been made. But yeah, it gives you a lot more spend management tools in terms of that. It's all basically done from a centralized dashboard. It gives you a lot more speed and control over the payments.
What do you say with categories? Does that say what somebody can and cannot spend their money on that card?
Yeah, for instance, if someone's using the card for a specific merchant, just to ensure that you're not overpaying or you're paying the right amount to the merchant, we can basically set codes which will say this will be the maximum you can pay to the merchant. You can then set daily limits for the accounts. You can set limits on how much you can pay per transaction as well. So yeah, it gives you a full spend management on each card.
Okay. Now, I've spoken to some people that use your white label solution. Now, I suppose the first question, and this is really for me being a bit ignorant, what is the difference between the white label solution and the banking as a service solution, or are they the same thing, just using different words?
They're very similar. A white label solution will allow clients to get to market a lot faster. It basically is a API integration. So we would give them the API itself. They would integrate it to their needs. We basically will work alongside their tech team as fast as they work to get them up and running relatively quickly. It's a good solution for clients who need to get up and running within a few weeks or so.
What kind of customers is that? That's not for CFD brokers, though, is it?
Generally, no. It might be for like fintech companies. We have
EMI.
EMIs, yeah. EMIs will go for it. Fintech companies. These are companies that are already in the same sort of space. They want to offer cards or they want to offer payment solutions to their own clients under their own name. It'll be more predominantly for them. In terms of the BaaS solution, it's slightly more complex. It's a lot more tailor-made to the client's needs as well. It basically offers you the full API integration, which includes website, branding, logos, coloring. We integrate into their own API software as well. We give them the expense management. We give them the BIN sponsorship to issue cards. We allow them to onboard their own clients via sub-IBANs. They can upload client files via API as well. So the whole process is a lot more streamlined. It gives them access to our tier 1 liquidity providers as well, along with our payment rails out, which will be Swift, SEPA, and faster payments.
So effectively, it's the same, all the same capabilities that Equals have. You're allowing somebody else to take that on.
Yeah, essentially, it's whatever Equals can offer, we can give it to you in your own branding, own package, so you can basically offer it to your own clients.
Amazing. Now, $1 million question. What kind of KPIs or metrics can a broker expect from being onboarded with you? Do you have any kind of success stories? Not to speak about anybody specifically, but can you talk a little bit about what people can expect once they're up and running with you and they're doing lots of transactions via the Equals network in there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. The main things that the brokers would notice or other companies would notice with us, first of all, the exchange rates will be a lot more of a beneficial saving compared to banking partners or other providers. The speed of the payments as well will be a big benefit. They would see payments, real time going out within 10 minutes of booking a transaction and reaching the beneficiary hopefully within 20, 30 minutes. The speed will be a big difference. The savings are there as well. Real time reporting and API integrations reduce the manual tasking needed. So it allows finance teams to focus on their own growth and strategy as well. It makes the whole process a lot more automated, a lot easier. What brokers want is more efficiency. They want less work, less hassle. And I think we provide them that.
Cool. And in terms of what the future holds for Equals clients or potential clients, what can people expect to be seeing over the coming months in terms of new developments?
So first of all, we're trying to focus on expanding our own footprint in key territories like Middle East as well. We're also expanding more into different industries such as crypto, as you're aware of. Product side, we're investing into different stablecoin rails at the moment, new treasury tools and faster payment routes. We also, we have deeper credit capabilities to support different contract types, 0% forwards, etc. It's just about staying ahead of what our clients' needs are to offer sort of cross-border payments. But yeah, there's quite a few things happening on the horizon from our side.
Okay, and you mentioned forwards there. So at the moment, it is possible now for clients to get into forward contracts using Equals.
Yeah, so we offer it as a case-by-case basis, but yeah, it's definitely available.
Well, sounds quite exciting. So in terms of broker getting onboarded with you and they want to start a conversation, what's the best way of getting in touch with Equals?
With Equals, they can go onto our website, equalsmoney.com. They'll find all our details there. We have a specific page for CFDs. We have a specific page for crypto. They can reach out to me directly on LinkedIn or, I have a page on LiquidityFinder as well. So for sure, they can reach out to me there, drop me a message, and I'll be happy to respond. And obviously, if there are any shows, we'll likely be at the shows as well. Drop in, say hi, etc.
Just to recap, which shows are you going to be at? So we're recording this towards the end of May. You're going to be at quite a few shows in the next 3 to 6 months. Yeah,
so the next shows that we've got written in our timeline are Money 2020 in Amsterdam. That's in June, early June. Then we have the IFX Expo in Cyprus, late June. Then we'll be attending Token 2049 in Singapore
That's October, right? I think
that's in October. Yeah, that's October. There's IFX in Asia as well. But yeah, we're attending a lot of shows. Obviously, as you know, I'm based between London and Dubai myself. So if I'm in London, then they can catch me, by email, LinkedIn, LiquidityFinder. Or if I'm in Dubai, just drop me a message and I'll be happy to help if I can.
Yeah, just a reminder, everybody, that Harris has a page Equals have a page on Liquidity. If you can drop a message through to Equals there, then it comes to Harris, or Harris has his own personal profile page as well. You can drop a message on that and have a real-time conversation with him. And Equals actually has a microsite on LiquidityFinder as well. There's a form on there that people can submit an inquiry to Harris directly. Also, on a daily basis, the market commentary from Equals is now on LiquidityFinder as well, which is actually very insightful. A little snippet of what's happening in the market today and published every day by Equals. Harris, thank you very much for your time. I think that's a very good introduction to people that may not have heard of Equals, or even people that have heard of Equals, what actually you're up to now. So thank you very much for your time. And looking forward to seeing you I'm expecting to be in Token 2049 in Singapore in October. So I'll see you there, if not before.
Thank you, Sam. If I don't see you in London, then I'll catch up with you at one of the expos.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.